Good afternoon to everybody. It's my pleasure to be here and then present about the green company rating system to all the participants through this webinar. So next about 35 to 40 minutes, I'll quickly run through a small presentation about the green company rating system, which is the latest initiative from CII Godrej Green Business Center, Hyderabad, mainly focusing on how to assess the company green or how green the company is. So I'll take you through the presentation and then it will give overview about the entire rating program, what is the methodology, and then what the approach adopted in developing this rating program. And then also I'll start with the background with which how we have initiated this rating program. So this is going to be the overall structure of my presentation. But just before starting my presentation, I would like to briefly touch upon about our center. For those who are not aware about the Green Business Center, let me take a few minutes of your time to explain about the various initiatives what we have been doing from the center. The CII Sohrabji Godrej Green Business Center, Hyderabad, is basically involved in promoting various green initiatives among the CII members. Its activities are unique and it is supported by the government of Andhra Pradesh, USAID, and Prajosha Godrej Foundation. And it is a division of CII, and CII is having various centers of excellence all over India. And this particular center is focusing on green initiatives, mainly focusing on energy efficiency, environmental management system, green buildings, renewable energy, water conservation and management, and then climate change activities within India. So these are the overall objectives or the activities which we have been doing from the center. And the uniqueness of the center is uh, the building which we are operating from Hyderabad is the first green building in India. So this, I mean, distinction we got in the year 2003, and in the year 2003 it was the first platinum rated building outside USA, and third building to get this prestigious rating from the US Green Building Council under their leadership in energy and environmental design lead program. Later, when we got this unique platinum rating from US Green Building Council, then we started promoting the green building concepts within Indian industry. And then we formed the Indian Green Building Council. And today, through this Indian Green Building Council, we have been promoting the green buildings movement in India. So the footprint of the green building in India, based on the number of buildings registered for the rating, is more than 1 billion square feet. So that is the uniqueness or distinction of this building. The entire activity, which is guided by the advisory council of the CI Godrej Green Business Center, which is led by Mr. Jamshed Godrej, uh, uh, they articulated the vision of CI Godrej GBC in the year 2003. So that time, the vision set by the advisory council was India should become one of the leaders in green businesses, mainly focusing on environment by 2015. So what we mean is that India is having a huge potential in terms of manpower, in terms of technical strength, and then whatever achievement we have seen in the IT field, and how we have become the leader in IT field in the world. So something similar possibilities existing in the green business also. So based on this experience, the advisory council of the Green Business Center set this tall vision, and then we have been working to achieve this vision through various initiatives. So the strategy for achieving the global leadership status in green business by 2015 is focusing on various areas like energy efficiency, green buildings, environmental management systems, and recycling and reusing programs, and then promoting renewable energy and having maximum investment from the private sector in the renewable energy field, and then of course the water management, which is very important as a country. So these are the major focus areas we have been working from the center and trying to achieve the global leadership status in the coming years. So the strategy what we are adopting is like in each of the focus areas, uh, we wanted to create island of excellence and expand those excellence into other areas. For example, in the year 2003, when we got this prestigious platinum rating from US Green Building Council, It was a small building of about 17,000 square feet. That was in the year 2003. But today, more than 1,600 buildings all over India, they have registered, and then more than 250 buildings they already got the certification from the Indian Green Building Council and US GBC lead program. And in terms of footprint, as I mentioned, it is more than a billion square feet, which is second largest next to USA in the world. And similarly, renewable energy, we are in the fourth place in terms of overall installed capacity. And some of the Indian cement plants and some of the refineries in India, they are world best in terms of specific energy consumption. So what we are trying to do is create islands of excellence in the identified areas and expand this the excellence to other areas, other focus people, so that over a period of time we'll try to achieve the global leadership status in green. Let me come back to the Greenco rating system, and I'll start. What is the background behind the development of Greenco rating system? How we started this initiative? So everything started in the year 2008 with an initiative called Mission on Sustainable Growth, started by CIA at the national level. So the National Council of CIA in the year 2008 identified sustainable development should be one of the major focus of CIA members. With that focus, then a small steering committee was formed, and then they developed the Mission on Sustainable Growth program. And the main objectives of the Sustainable Mission on Sustainable Growth initiative is to involve top management of the companies, like CEOs and managing directors of the companies, and seek voluntary commitment and self targets from those leaders in terms of reducing their resource intensity and conserving their resources. And CI has been working with those member companies who have signed this voluntary initiatives code, and we are working in meeting the objectives of this Mission on Sustainable Growth initiative. So within about 3 years period, we have got excellent response from the CI members. We have got more than 450 signatories for this Mission on Sustainable Growth initiative, where we have developed the CI code for ecologically sustainable business growth, which is basically a 10 natural commandments, which is signed by voluntarily signed by the top management of the companies, and then later the company implements and meet the objectives of the mission. And over a period of time, in the last 2.5 to 3 years, we have been receiving good response from some of the proactive members who have implemented the Mission on Sustainable Growth initiative. And close to about 90 to 100 individual facilities or units, they have been implementing this Mission on Sustainable Growth initiative in a major way. And whatever the feedback received from these companies, the cumulative annual emission reduction is close to about 780,000 tons of CO2, and these companies have achieved close to about 1,300 million rupees per annum. So that's the actual benefits they have achieved in the last 3 years. Mainly, the benefits are through implementation of energy saving projects, water conservation projects, and then greenhouse gas emission reduction, and increasing the share of renewable energy, and then reducing waste management, reducing waste generation, and then also utilizing it in a more useful way. All these kind of initiatives which led to the savings of about 1,300 million rupees per annum. I have voice not audible. Okay. Right. Okay. So this is the background about the overall development of the Greenco rating system. What I said was CI started the Mission on Sustainable Growth initiative, and then there are 10 commandments where the CEO of the companies, they voluntarily sign the code, and then later the company implements the 10 commandments. And whatever the feedback achieved from the companies, they have achieved close to about 8 lakh tons of CO2 and achieved about 130 crores of savings per annum. And by seeing good response from some of the proactive companies, then the members suggested that there should be some recognition mechanism in terms of recognizing the companies who have done well in terms of meeting the objectives of Mission on Sustainable Growth. And also there was a suggestion that once people started implementing the code and then achieve good results, and they get recognition, it will motivate the people to do more, and also it will motivate other people also to start implementing the objectives of the code. So based on these suggestions, then the Greenco rating system was formed. So let me come to the main objective of the Greenco rating system, and also explain about what exactly the objectives, and how it can help the companies to improve further in terms of their greenness. Basically, the green rating system or green company rating system is basically a framework to define and assess the performance of the companies, basically to assess how green the company is, and also monitor and sustain green initiatives. So we feel once the company starts implementing the Greenco rating system, so it will be an excellent platform to monitor and sustain green initiatives within the company, and also it will give you a phased growth for the company to achieve further in future. Considering the depth in which the rating system has been developed, and then it's more of a holistic approach of assessing how green the company is. So we feel it's first of its kind in the world. So we don't have any other rating system which go into various details of the greenness of the company, and then finally certifying a company a platinum rated green company, or a gold or a silver rated green company. So from that perspective, we feel it's the first of its kind in the world. And when the members suggested that there should be a recognition mechanism and then the rating program, then immediately CII formed a steering committee for the development of the rating system under the chairmanship of Mr. G.V. Prasad, who is the vice chairman and CEO of Dr. Reddy's Laboratories, and then Mr. Pradeep Bhargava, who is the managing director of Cummins Generator Technology, was the co-chairman. And then we had about 120 industry experts who participated in the development of the rating program. So we had two major steering committee meetings and then several one-to-one discussions. It took almost 9 months for us to complete the entire process, and then finally launch the pilot rating program, which was done in the month of February 2011. So basically, we involved various industry experts from different regions, and also from different sectors. So it gives a lot of transparency in terms of development of the rating program. So because of the extensive stakeholder consultation, and also we have a lot of consensus in terms of finally arriving the framework, whatever the guidelines or framework included as part of the rating program. We had a very good consensus because of the involvement of various people, and also it took about 9 months for us to complete the overall development of the program. So coming to the further details of the rating program, the scope of the rating program as decided by the steering committee is like it is applicable for an individual manufacturing unit or a service facility. So any service facility or a manufacturing unit, so they can apply for this rating system, and then they can go for to understand, I mean, where they are standing in terms of their greenness. And then the coverage is it is applicable for all manufacturing and service sectors. For example, any manufacturing industries like engineering or automobile or a cement or a paper company or a chemical company can participate in this initiative. Similarly, it is applicable for service sectors. If you see the overall framework and guidelines, so it is designed such a way that it is applicable even for a IT company or a logistics management company. That is how the service sector is also included as part of this rating program. And of course, mainly the rating program focuses on the company's performance in terms of achieving the actual results in terms of reduction in energy or reduction in waste consumption, and so on. So the companies should have a minimum operating period of 3 years. Then they can apply for this rating. But based on the request, some of the new companies, by design, they have implemented several green features. And then based on the request for a new company, the operating data for 2 years is also sufficient to rate the companies. For any existing company, the evaluation is for the last 3 years data. And for a new company, if it is having more than 2 years of data, then they are eligible to apply for this rating program. Uh, as I mentioned again, it's a unit or facility level rating. It is not a corporate level rating. For example, ITC as a group, they cannot claim a Greenco gold or platinum rated company at a corporate level. It is only for the particular unit or facility which is going for the rating system. And during the steering committee, there were a lot of discussions in terms of arriving the guidelines and then providing the points for various credits. And also based on our experience of the Indian Green Building Council programs, the Lead India Green Building Rating Program, and then we have applied those principles and then experiences in developing this Greenco rating. And then 30% of the points are provided for whatever the systems the company is adopting in terms of implementing the green initiatives, and 70% of the points are provided for the company's results, whatever they have achieved in the last 3 years in terms of the green initiatives. So 700 points for results and impacts, and then 300 points are for the systems. Under the systems, again, it is further subdivided into the top management commitment, like what is actual commitment from the top management or leadership, and what are the strategies the top management is being has been focusing in terms of implementing green initiatives. They get certain weightage, and then how the people or the employees are involved, and then how the company is taking partnership, even the other organizations in terms of implementing the green initiatives carries certain weightage. And then what is the actual monitoring or the verification systems the company is implementing in terms of implementing these initiatives on a continual basis, not being a one time activity. It should be a continuous activity. So those systems also carries weightage. So these three aspects put together carries 30% of the weightage in each parameter, and then the rest 70% of the points are given for the actual results achieved in various areas. So basically it is a system, or it is a rating program where higher weightage is given for the performance, but of course systems is also recognized up to 30%. Let me come to the overall the level. What are the various levels in the rating program? So the minimum rating is a certified company. A company if it gets 350 points, and then the company will get Greenco certified level, and the next level is bronze, and then the next higher level is the silver, gold, and finally uh, uh, the highest rating is the platinum rating. For a company, if it is getting more than 750 points, they will achieve that status. So here it is again based on several discussions from the experts and our past experience and other rating program. It is carefully designed such a way that the company should meet all the mandatory requirements which is involved in the which is related to the environmental performance. Whatever the rule of MOEF or whatever the rule of pollution control board, the company first should meet those requirements, and then over and above, if they get 350 points, then they'll get the rating system. So basically, it is designed such a way that it is beyond beyond compliance, and then they achieve significant improvement compared to the baseline figures. For a company which is getting a platinum level certification, then definitely that company should be comparable with any other company in the world in terms of their greenness. For example, there are 10 parameters involved in this rating program. If the company is very good in most of the parameters in terms of its performance at the international level, then they will get the platinum rating. And if the company is getting, I mean, whatever the performance of the company, if it is best at the national level, in most of the parameters, they will come under the gold rating. And below that is the silver, bronze, and then minimum rating is the certified level. So it is designed such a way that it is neither tough nor easy. What I mean, it is a company which is meeting all the regulatory requirements and implementing at least three major areas like energy efficiency, water management, and then waste management, like that. Then definitely it is easy for a company to get a certified level. That is the minimum level. But for a company to get gold or platinum, definitely they have to do a lot in terms of implementing most of the activities or most of the parameters. Then they will get the gold or platinum rating. So that's the reason it is. Uh, we are saying that it's neither tough nor easy. And coming to the various parameters and weightages, these are the 10 parameters with which the overall Greenco rating is assessed for a company. The total points are 1000, out of which 150 points are given for the energy efficiency improvement projects. Still, energy continue to hold a lot of weightage in terms of several factors in arriving a company, whether it is green or not. So that is the reason maximum weightage is being given for energy efficiency, which is 150. And then water conservation, renewable energy, greenhouse gas emission reduction, waste management, materials, recycling and recyclability, green supply chain. So all these parameters each carry 100 points. And then the latest initiatives in the environmental management systems like the life cycle assessment and product stewardship initiatives, they carry 75 points each. And the last parameter, which is the 10th parameter, which is miscellaneous parameter, which talks about the ventilation, site location, and whatever the innovation the company can do, which is beyond the guidelines of the rating system in any of the 9 parameters, also included as part of the 10th parameter. So 10th is others are miscellaneous area, which includes all 9 areas in terms of innovation, and then other green building features like ventilation and site selection and site locations. So that carries 100 points. So overall 1000 points are given for a company through this rating program. So here again, I mean, some of the companies may be doing excellent work in at least 3 or 4 areas. In some of the areas, the company may not have started any initiative, but overall, the objective of the rating program is to encourage the companies to implement various initiatives, including the product stewardship and life cycle assessment in future. So it is designed for next 5 to 10 years. So that is the reason the latest latest parameters like life cycle assessment and product stewardship are all included as part of the rating. And we have seen overall what are the various parameters and then weightage and then the various levels of rating system like certified to platinum. And then let me quickly run through and then briefly explain about how this rating program is going to drive excellence in a company. For example, a company is going to implement this Greenco rating. We feel the company will strive excellence in many of the areas. For example, generally energy conservation has been implemented by many companies in the last 15-20 years. So they have targets like I want to achieve 5% reduction in terms of my specific energy consumption or 10%. So these are the targets set, and then the company has been able to achieve, and then they're doing good work. But when they start implementing the Greenco rating system and they apply for the rating system, then the company will strive to do and try to excel how to achieve national or international best. What do you mean? This rating system will drive companies to achieve world-class standard in terms of energy efficiency. Because if you go into the details of the energy efficiency, there are various credits within each parameter. So maximum weightage are given for the company which is best in terms of specific energy consumption at the national or international level. So this will drive companies to focus to achieve national or international best in terms of energy efficiency. The next driver of excellence is water conservation and water management initiatives. So many companies again they reduce their water consumption in terms of their specific intensity, but again that is not sufficient from the waterfront. Even though in India the water cost is less, and we are not paying much like energy cost, but water is going to play a major role in terms of deciding the sustainability of the businesses in India, because it is the resource of water, the availability of water is very limited and it is going down, and then we can see a lot of issues with respect to water in many cities and many states. Even though we are not paying much money, but if the water is not available, then we have to stop the operation of the manufacturing or service unit. That means we may have to face a lot of business sustainability issues in terms of availability of water. So from that perspective, we feel companies should strive to achieve water positive status. What is water positive? A company suppose consumes X kiloliters of water per annum. Then if it is able to recharge or collect more than X water in an annual basis, then the company will be called as a water positive company. That is again more important because water is any business, any manufacturing unit, the water is shared with the surrounding society. Suppose if the water is not available for the society, then again operating a manufacturing unit in that area is maybe a big difficulty. So from that perspective, we'll be competing the water with the society, and that will affect the company's operation or sustainability. From that perspective, I think each business should look for becoming a water positive unit, so that it ensures the sustainability of water resources. And then the third driver of excellence, what we feel is the companies will start first monitoring and then accounting what are their greenhouse gas emissions, and then they'll start mitigating through implementation of various projects. Even some of the businesses may look for carbon neutral approach or carbon positive approach, so that will lead to further excellence in terms of their operations. And the next driver of excellence, what we feel is the waste minimization or zero waste to landfill. Again, here also waste is going to be a major issue in terms of generation of waste or in terms of handling and disposing the waste. In India, we have a lot of issues. So, as a manufacturing unit or a service unit, if you are ensuring that the waste generation is nil, or even whatever the waste generated, it is recycled or reused properly, and then if you achieve the status of zero waste to landfill, then that is the ideal status. So, this particular ratings program is going to drive companies to achieve zero waste to landfill. And of course, the other natural resources like material, either it can be the raw material or it can be the packing material like wood or paper. So the rating program focuses on those resources also. So due weightages are given under materials and recycling and recyclability. So the companies will look for consuming low material for the product whatever they are manufacturing or service whatever they are doing it. And many companies they have done good work within their own operations, but again if you see the entire supply chain, uh, definitely we can do something more. So recognizing those aspects, this particular rating program is promoting the greening the supply chain. So it is not only I should focus only in my manufacturing location. I'm also including my vendors. I'm also including my customers and then dealers, and then ensuring that they are also becoming greener. So that is the next driver of excellence through green supply chain. The entire supply chain will become more greener, and it will promote the use of more and more renewable energy or green energy sources like wind, solar, biomass energy. So that is more sustainable. That will reduce the overall greenhouse gases, and then that will also more sustainable in terms of the availability of natural resources like coal and oil. And the last driver of excellence, what we feel, is the recyclability or product stewardship initiatives of the companies. So here again, 75 points are given for the product stewardship initiatives. What we mean by product stewardship initiative here is that as a manufacturer of a product, it's not only my responsibility to just manufacture the product and just send it to my customer or sell it to the customer. So even after selling to the customer, and what are the environmental issues with respect to even during the usage of the equipment or usage of the product, or after the usage, what are the issues with respect to disposing the waste which is generated from the use of product or material. So as a manufacturer, if I take responsibility in educating my customers or ensuring a safe disposal of the waste, that's the product stewardship initiative. So this particular rating program is going to drive excellence in many companies in focusing on their own product stewardship aspects. So, having seen the driver of excellence, let me quickly run through a few examples how Indian companies already started doing various green initiatives. This is the example of Kirloskar Brothers, uh, who's a pump manufacturer. So, they have already started accounting their greenhouse gas emissions, and they calculate what is the specific emission factor. For example, 0.355 tons of CO2 per pump is the actual emission in manufacturing their product, and they have clearly segregated what is the scope 1, which is the direct emission, and scope 2, which is the indirect emissions. and they also have a target to achieve these scope 1 and scope 2 emissions. See, whatever the projects they've implemented in the last 3 to 4 years, so through energy saving and renewable energy projects, they achieved a savings of about 13 million rupees through emission reduction projects. So what I mean, the indirect message is like green makes business sense. It is not only I mean, from the philanthropic point of view, the company is going to do green initiatives. It is not like that. Whatever the initiatives the company is going to take, definitely it is going to give a lot of benefit in terms of cost savings. And again, the Kirloskar brothers, they have a carbon neutral approach. So they have a wind farm which offsets their overall greenhouse gas emissions. So they are going to add additional wind farms, and then they have a target to achieve 100% renewable energy by 2015. So through these initiatives, they will achieve a carbon neutral status by 2015. So they have a clear roadmap how to achieve that in the next 3 years. Companies, including a lot of public sector companies like ONGC, they have a lot of focus in terms of their greenhouse gas management, and they have a carbon neutral approach. They have set a specific targets from their own manufacturing and the refinery facility point of view. They are trying to achieve carbon neutral approach, and then they've implemented several projects including the methane recovery, and then all their new buildings are going to be green buildings from the lead India or IGBC programs, and they already setting up 50 megawatt of wind turbine projects, both I mean, right now it is in the onshore, but they are also looking for projects in the offshore wind farms. So these are the several initiatives ONGC is taking in terms of achieving carbon neutral approach. So having seen the carbon neutral approach or GHG mitigation projects, so this is the example of Ambuja Cements Rabrivas, which is in Rajasthan. So they have implemented a lot of projects, water management projects, which are beyond the fence. That is, whatever they have done within the fence, it is going to reduce their specific water consumption in manufacturing a ton of cement. But apart from that, they are also looking in implementing various projects outside their boundary, which makes sense in terms of meeting the requirement of water for the entire society, not only for their own requirement, it's for the entire society. So, being in Rajasthan, the rainwater rainfall, the average annual rainfall is very less. It's only 330 mm. So they have implemented several watershed projects, and then covering about 125,000 people across 55 villages, and increase their water storage capacity to 165 million square feet. And then they achieved very good response in terms of improvement compared to I mean, before implementing and after implementing the projects. So the biggest advantage here is they're ensuring the water sustainability for the entire society surrounding the plant, and because of that, I mean, the water availability is going to be the sustainable availability of water is ensured in future. And here again, apart from the water availability, the people surrounding the plant, they've improved their agricultural productivity by twice because of water availability throughout the year, and then more crops are available for I mean, in a particular year. So that increased the agricultural productivity by twice. And because of water availability, and a lot of girl children, instead of picking water and spending more time in picking water, they started going to the school. This is again another biggest social advantage by implementing these projects Ambuja Estimate has achieved. And quickly, a few more examples like how companies are implementing green supply chain. This is the example of Mahindra and Mahindra. So they are implementing at a corporate level. They have a separate green supply chain management policy, and then they work with their vendors and customers, and then they ensure that the resource conservation and then the logistics costs are reduced by implementing this green supply chain. These are some examples how what is the percentage of wood and cardboard boxes are reduced by working with the vendors and reducing the packing materials. Another initiatives from Wipro. This is an example from Wipro, mainly focusing on the product stewardship initiative. So they have initially, I mean, gone for ROHS complaints, restriction of hazardous substances. To meet the ROHS complaints, they worked with about 37 suppliers in the entire supply chain, and most of these 37 suppliers are outside India, mainly China and Taiwan. They work with them on a continuous basis for a significant period, and then they reduced all the toxic material in their product. So now it is 100% toxin free, and 100% it is a recyclable material. So they launched in the name of Greenware desktop, and then it's first time in India. And we also understand that the market for this particular product is also increasing in the last 2 years. So this is the product stewardship initiative in terms of avoiding toxic substances in the product, so that during the usage or during the recycling or at the end of the life, the toxic materials are avoided. Another example, many people have maybe seen this example from various presentations of Nokia. So when they transport the material, I mean basically the cell phones. So here, if you see the size of the phone and size of the packing material, definitely the size of the packing material is much more than the actual product, which is the cell phone. So they spend more. I mean, they emit more greenhouse gases in transporting the packing material rather than the actual mobile. So to reducing the carbon footprint, they've gone for a smaller and fewer, smaller guidebooks and smaller charges, and then they started reducing the packing material size, and then they started using more and more recyclable material in the packing areas. So that has resulted huge benefit to Nokia. So this has been implemented globally by Nokia, and then the savings achieved by them is more than 5,500 million Indian rupees at the global level. So these are few case studies. Let me come to what are the benefits of implementing the Greenco rating system by a company. Of course, the first benefit what the company is going to get by implementing the Greenco rating is the resource conservation. So if you see 10 parameters, in most of the parameters, if the company implements, then it is going to reduce the consumption of their resources. So which is going to reduce their cost of production. So the bottom line improvement, and then they have a very good progressive development in terms of achieving the resource conservation, and in terms of cost savings, they get a lot of benefits. So this is going to be the first benefit of implementing Greenco rating system by any company. And the next benefit is green corporate image. Of course, today green has become more and more popular. Uh, Compared to Europe, it may not be as popular in India, but definitely it is picking up, and you can see how MRF is uh, advertising their product as a green tire. So that kind of corporate image is slowly coming up in India also. So once the company implements Greenco rating system and they are silver or gold or platinum rating, so it gives a lot of green corporate image to the company. So that is the next benefit the company can get. The third benefit is like it is an excellent framework. So each parameter there are set of guidelines given, and then if the companies, if they're going to implement these guidelines, and if they follow these guidelines, then definitely they will know where they are standing with respect to various parameters. A company may be very good in energy efficiency, but they may not be good in water or waste management. So it is going to be a very good tool to the company. Then they themselves will know that where they are standing in terms of various initiatives which addresses the green. The third benefit what the fourth benefit what the company is going to get is transparency. So when they participate in this program and then they implement various initiatives and they share with their stakeholders, it gives a lot of transparency to the company. So that we feel is going to be a major benefit, which will be very useful in future in terms of their market uh, share. And the last benefit what we envisage is meeting future regulations. For example, energy efficiency was not a mandatory requirement 10 years before. Then Bureau of Energy Efficiency started, and then the energy conservation law become mandatory, and then now patch scheme is going to be mandatory for energy intensive sectors. Similarly, there will be some mandatory requirement in future for reduction of greenhouse gas emissions, or already the e-waste management rule is in place. Whoever is the manufacturer who is, I mean, their product, if it is going to generate e-waste, then they have to have end of life management programs. Extended producer responsibility is going to be part of their requirement. So when they implement Greenco rating system, we feel that it is going to give a lot of flexibility for the company in meeting their future regulations, and they are better prepared to meet the regulations in future. So they will be well ahead of the competition by implementing the Greenco rating system. So having seen the benefits, let me quickly run through what are the companies who have already registered for the pilot rating. So I mentioned about the release of the pilot rating a year ago, and then right now we are working with 13 companies covering about 8 sectors, and then we are looking for some more companies in different sectors who can participate in this pilot rating program, and then by next year, mid of next year, so the first version of the rating will be released. So it will be helpful in terms of fine tuning whatever we have developed, and then it will become uh, operational by next year. So the first Greenco rating company assessment was completed for Bangalore International Airport for its operations, and then they got the silver rating. And the second assessment just completed last week for ITC paper division's Bhadrachalam factory. So we are waiting for the assessment to be completed, and then they will be getting some level under the Greenco rating system. So all this information related to Greenco rating system is available in our website. We have an exclusive website called www.greenco.in. So the entire abridged reference guide, which is about 150-page document, the soft copy is available in a PDF format. So anybody who is interested, they can first register their name, and then they'll get the username and password. Then they can download this material, and whatever I've just mentioned, all this information are already available in that abridged reference guide. So what we are looking for is we are looking for some more companies. We invite some more companies to register for the rating system, and then being part of this unique initiatives of CII. And then so whatever the experience of CII, and then the company like you. So this will be helpful in terms of setting a green standard for the Indian industry. So that is how we are looking at this initiative. So now the forum is open for question and answer. So whoever is having questions, so you can just type your questions, and then I can answer one by one. Richard, his voice not audible is latest one, or it's old one? What is the question? Just has CA decided on the scope of LCA, or can the applicant fix the scope? So actually, with the help of the steering committee, I mean, this is the question asked by Mr. Lokesh. He has asked the scope for LCA has been fixed or not. So let me answer this question, Mr. Lokesh. As I mentioned, it was about a 9 months activity where we have involved about 120 industrial experts. So with those experts, we have already defined what is the various scopes for each parameter, including life cycle assessment. And I mentioned about the abridged reference guide, which is available in the internet. So you can download that, and then you'll find what are the various scopes included as part of life cycle assessment. So basically, again, each parameter is having scope with respect to what is the commitment from the top management in terms of implementing life cycle assessment for their own products, and then how I mean, if you go into the next level, then any life cycle assessment has been done for their product, and what is the action taken in terms of improving their environmental performance based on the life cycle assessment. So, like these various scopes are included, and these are called as credits. And so each parameter will have its own credit. Uh, so that's already decided, and then you can see the abridged reference guide. And for any further information, you can contact us through email or phone, then we can explain further. And Mr. Dr. Dhananjay has asked the question, how will we check energy consumption? Uh, how will we check the energy consumption? Okay. So, as I mentioned, the energy efficiency has 150 points. Here again, there are six different credits. So, first, the company should have a policy, and which is a mandatory requirement, and then they should have uh, cell which identifies and implement the energy conservation projects, and then they should first monitor their energy consumption in different levels. So due weightages are given for energy monitoring. So suppose some company is applying for Greenco rating system, so they should show what are the energy monitoring system they have implemented in their own unit. For example, overall energy consumption is monitored, and then at the sub level, so we have monitored up to the various substations, and then apart from that, the major equipments are also measured. So if the company is having a very good system in terms of monitoring, and then they'll get due weightage for monitoring. And how will we check the energy consumption is the question, but still I'm not very clear whether I have answered your question or not. Energy consumption, again, each company should monitor their performance in terms of what is the actual consumption per month, and then what is the production, and then finally calculate in terms of kilowatt hour per ton of product or per number of product. And if it is going to be a building or a service sector, so it can be per person or per lakh of turnover, or it can be per square feet of the building area. So there are various methods of arriving the specific energy consumption, which is again explained in detail in the abridged reference guide. So for any further questions, you can send an email. We'll be able to answer. The next question is uh, Mr. Ranjavi from SKI. What is the time duration for the entire rating exercise? So again, I have not covered the other methodology of the rating program. Suppose some company is interested in implementing the ratings program. First, they have to register through our website, www.greenco.in. Once they register, then immediately CI team will conduct a 2-day training and awareness program for the company. Basically, to again explain about various requirements and the intent of each parameter and each credit in the rating program. So after the 2-day training program, the company should collect data, whatever they've done in the last 3 years, or what are the strategy the leadership is going to have for the future. All this information has to be collected, and we feel about 30 to 45 days are required for collecting this information. And once this information are collected, then they have to submit it to CAI, and CAI with own its internal resources, technical experts, and also with the support of external individual experts. For example, we already have about 16 assessors who are all mainly the retired people, or the experts or consultants who have a vast experience in this field. So they will be involved in this rating program, and then they will go for a site visit. They will assess, and finally the rating consensus will be arrived, and then finally the rating will be given to the company. So overall, we feel that it requires about 3 to 4 months time duration for the entire exercise, right from registration to finally getting this rating program. The next question is Mr. Lokesh, can you please let us know more about projects classified under others category? Okay. The others category, 40 points are given, 50 points are given for the green building features. Green building features means like how the indoor air quality is maintained and monitored. So they will get 10 points. And then what are the projects, implemented in terms of maintaining the biodiversity of the campus? It may be a building or it may be a manufacturing unit. So what is the green belt development? What is the projects implemented in maintaining the biodiversity? That carries again 10 points. And then what are the housekeeping chemicals used in the building or in the factory? And then if it is green chemicals, which is having less toxic substances during usage, and similarly low VOC paints or no VOC paints. So all these aspects will get again 10 points. And then how the employees are commuting from their own houses to the factory or the facility. So if the 40% of the employees are staying within 5 kilometers radius, then they'll get 5 points. Or if the company is providing a mass transport facility for 40% of the employees, then also they will get the same 5 points. So like this, the green building features are included mainly from the indoor air quality and site location point of view, and rest 50 points are given for the innovation. So here the innovation means, suppose the Greenco rating is saying 30% is the reduction in water consumption, specific water consumption carries maximum points. But the company has achieved 50% reduction in water consumption in the last 3 years, which is beyond the guidelines given in the rating program. Then this project can be converted into an innovation. Or it can be any other projects which is not included as part of the guidelines in the rating program, but which has resulted into environmental benefit, so that the company can project as an innovation. So that carries it as 50 points. So total 50 plus 50, 100 points are for the others category. Let me go into the next question, Mr. Datta. How an organization which is 50-year old and some industries willing to work such initiatives can start? Okay. So here again, lot of discussion, debates happen during the steering committee meetings. For example, if you go into the details of energy conservation, so the specific energy consumption reduction is given due weightage for the companies. So then a company which is old and then they have been implementing the energy conservation for the last 10 to 15 years, they will not be able to achieve or show significant reduction in terms of specific energy consumption in the last 3 years. But a company which has just started 5 years before and then they've implemented the energy conservation only in the last 3 years, then they can show more percentage reduction in terms of specific energy consumption. So how we are going to compare these two companies? That was the question raised by members during the steering committee. Then the steering committee decided that due weightage will be given for a company which is implementing the energy conservation in the last 10-15 years, and also those companies performance in terms of the national or international benchmarking will also be looked into the details. Then if the company is best at the national level or international level, they will get maximum weightage whether they have done good reduction in 3 years or not. If the company is having a lowest specific energy consumption at the national or international level, then they will get entire points for that particular credit. So that is how it was decided. I mean, this is mainly from the companies who are implementing the energy conservation in the last 10-15 years. But I feel your question is like, if the company is very old and they are not, their technology is different, how it is going to be compared? Here again, whenever we go for assessment, the experts are going to be from the same sector, and they will be going to the details of what kind of technology is being adopted by the particular company. Again, due weightage will be given in terms of the technology. But I mean, a company which is having a old technology will not be compared with a new technology. But of course, overall, the rating program suggests or promotes more and more efficiency, more and more greenness. So definitely, a person is using a old technology may not score much points because in terms of performance, still they may be consuming more energy or more water. So that is how it is compared. Let me go into the next question. Mr. Rajkumar is asking, the companies registered in pilot study are large. What about small scale industries? Mr. Rajkumar, is again your question is very valid. Right now, we have whatever the companies who are registered, they are all big companies. But as I said, it's a pilot rating. We have just started. These are the companies where they are proactive in terms of implementing these green initiatives. So we wanted to first establish the rating program by working with these companies because they have already done good work. And parallelly, we are also working on how to fine tune this rating program for small scale industries. Still, we have not launched, but in future, I mean, after completing at least 10 pilot rating for the registered companies, then we'll be looking for fine tuning this rating program to suit small companies. So that will help small companies also participate in this initiative and also know where they are standing in terms of their greenness. The next question is is from Mr. Rajkumar. Where can we get comparative LC analysis of comparative products done? Okay. Harshita, can you answer this? I mean, I have my colleague Harshita. She's also with me. Yeah.
Good afternoon. So there are different options. One option is to come up with an inventory of what are the competitive products available in the market and to do an LC analysis of each of these. There are many software companies like Simapro, Gabi that are doing these studies in India right now. So one possibility is to approach the software companies to do these studies. CI is also working very closely with EcoInvent to collect the life cycle inventory data for India, and we're also working on various LCA studies. So contacting the different software LCA companies and also CI, these are the two options that you can approach.
I mean, coming back to your question, right now the number of companies which has done LCA in India are very less. We have very few companies like Tata Chemicals they have done for their fertilizer, and then ITC has done for some of their products. And okay, specifically for doors, you have any? And our experience with Godrej Interior is that Godrej Interior is they have already done some LCA study for their some of their major furniture, which is mainly used in the green buildings. But of course, I mean we have not seen any comparison for doors as of now. But definitely, I mean, if you come across any kind of comparative study for doors, then we can share that information with you. So Rajkumar is typing. Where can we get it done? Okay. Suppose if you are interested in doing life cycle assessment for doors, then CI in CI Green Business Center, we also have a team having experience in conducting the life cycle assessment. We have a Simapro software, and then we have experts who can do life cycle assessment for various products. So definitely, as a service, CI Green Business Center can help you in conducting this life cycle assessment for doors. I mean, it can be for a particular, I mean, a single door in estimating the environmental impacts in the entire life cycle. Or if you want to do a comparative analysis also, which can be done by our team. Anyway, we have all, contact details of all the participants with the mobile number and email. Of course, we'll also be in touch with you by um, sending emails, and if required, we can directly talk over phone.